What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with an updated version of my Utopia deck. Now, as you can see, there's been some new support that's come out, so I'm going to do the updated version for you all so you can see what it is like. Carbonell Warrior there representing. Something I also noticed, look, I have one of the original LOBs, which is really cool. Didn't even notice that. But anyway, starting it off, we have one of the equips. We have two ZW Lightning Blade. Lightning Blade is here simply because it stops destruction of the ZWs, and also if Utopia dies, you can detach it, and it also gives it an extra 1,200 attack. And then the other one is Tornado Bringer. These are the only two that I run. There are other ones that you can choose if you so want. I think can't remember what it's called, but it can attack everything and gives 1,000 attack. But I prefer these. I think these are the best ones. As I said, Lightning Blade prevents ZWs to be destroyed, and Tornado Bringer defends the equipped monster and also ZWs to be targeted. So with these, you have a nice little lock, as well as if you just put it on a standard Utopia. The Utopia is also on 5,000 attack because this gives 1,300 extra attack and this gives 1,200 extra attack. So running them at 2 and 2 is really nice. You can always run them at 1 and 1 if you so wish, depending on how you want to run the deck. But I really like having these. Yes, they can be a dead draw, but as I said, this is very much a fun deck, and if I'm completely honest, like that is how I want to run it. So it's quite cute to have all these different locks. Then, one of the new cards from World Superstars, we have 3 Assault Halberds. So, the reason why I'm running this is simply because you can special summon. It's really easy to special summon, and really easy to just get your combos off because, you know, what more do you want with a special summon in level 4? But also, it's pretty useful to have the ability to deck thin. Simply because when he, does damage, you can search out another version of him. So that's really important because deck thinning is consistent in this key in this deck. Sorry, not consistent. And to be able to get to your combo pieces quicker is always good. So being able to also just, if you want to poke over your opponent's monster, you do damage, you search out another, and then next turn you still have a possible rank 4 play simply because you have this here, because you can special summon it if your monster dies. So yeah, really solid card, and I do like it. And it's also a warrior if you do run any of the warrior-based XYZs. Then we have, 3-star drawing. This card's here simply because it's amazing. If you run kind of a turbo rank 4 deck like this, it's just a really solid card. Being able to level modulate, being able to use as level 4 or level 5 XZ as a material, and then also being able to draw when the monster is summoned is really, really strong. So it helps with the consistency aspect, and just in general helps keep your advantage up. Otherwise, you can suffer. 3 Tinplate Goldfish. This is one of the better special summoning from hand level 4s, in my opinion. I just prefer running Goldfish, simply because it helps with the fact that you can, if you use a Dweller, for example, you can have it a bit higher. And also, the 2,000 defense is also really strong. So it's pretty good, and just Goldfish in general is nice to have. And then I run 2 Goplinberg. The reason why I run 2 is simply because space issues. Otherwise, I'd be filling up on special summon monsters, and you don't want to summon this and this unless you're in a dire situation. What I mean by that is you want to be able to keep these for the singles or the other like star drawings or the others that I'm going to show you in a little bit, to be able to get their effects off as well. You don't really want to summon a Goplinberg and have to summon out Tinplate Goldfish or vice versa from their effects, simply because you want to keep them. You want to be able to abuse these as much as possible. With the other ones. So here's the 2 one-offs that I run. So I run 1 Sacred Crane. There is a build that's based around this, simply because you can use like Swallow's Nest and all that to just really spam out different Sacred Cranes and keep drawing, and you summon amongst to special summon and all that. And I do run summon amongst, which I'll go into in a sec. But Sacred Crane is just so good. It's really useful because, as I said, you special summon it from deck, from hand, anything, and you just get the extra draw. Then I have a 1 Heroic Challenger Extra Sword. This card's jokes, like it really is. If you don't know what it does, when it's used for an XYZ summon, the monster summoned gains 1,000 attack. So you bring out a Utopia on 3,500, you bring out a Dweller on 2,700, a 101 on 3-1, the next turn on 2-9, anything like that. Really, really solid. So it's just nice to have, and it means that, if I do draw it, I can special summon it, and also summon amongst to be able to special summon from deck. And speak of which, summon amongst. I run a lot of spells. Being able to get the star drawings, the Sacred Crane, and also the Challenger from deck is really strong. So it's a really, really nice card to run. in general. So going on to the spells, we have 3 XYZ change tactics. Now you might say, Alinthia, yo, 3 is too many. Well, yeah, that's down to personal preference and how you want to run the deck. I want to see this as quickly as possible because this is a really big win condition for this deck. The sooner you get this, the quicker you'll be able to pull off your crazy drawing combos and loops with Utopia. So yeah, you can always use it at worst for a ditch for Summon a Monk, and also it's MST bait, so if you run 3, then there's a good chance you're going to be able to use others. 3 upstarts, so reason here is just simply consistency. You don't really care how much life points your opponent has, so being able to go into upstart is just to get your combo pieces is nice and easy. Then I run 2 limited Barion's Force, simply because I do run some of the rank ups, and this is a Utopia deck, so you got to run the rank ups also with the fact I'm using Utopic Dragon, and yeah, just in general, I mean, you can use any of the rank up spell cards that you want. I'm just personally running this simply because I prefer this one. If I'm completely honest, it's just the easiest one for me, and less situational as regards to some of them. So yeah, basically just running that. I'm running 2. 3 just gets too cloggy unless the whole deck's based around it. It's kind of more of a support for this deck. 2 Generation Force, being able to search out the XYZ change tactics or one of the other ones that I'll show you in a sec. It's pretty useful, again, just deck thinning. It's kind of why it's there. But there are loads of XYZ cards that you can put into the deck if you so wish. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, simply because I don't want to get locked out by Vanities. I don't want to get locked out by any of these cards, these floodgates that really hurt me. So it's just there. I mean, complete worst case, depending on how stale the back row format is, you can always just side them out. It's as simple as that. Or you can run things like Royal Decree if you don't prefer to want to run a MST, anything like that. It's just down to personal preference how you want to run it, really. 2 Instant Fusion, you'll see the targets in a sec. But Instant Fusion is just great in general. You can run 3 if you so wish. It just completely depends how you want to run the deck. It's pretty tight for space right now, so Instant Fusions at 2 has been working fine for me. Then going on to the final 7 traps, you have 3 Reckless Greed. I play the upstarts and the Recklesses just to be able to dig hard into the deck as quickly as possible. You can replace these for whatever you want. You can replace them for back row traps if you so wish. But this is kind of an all-out turbo deck, so that's kind of why I'm running these. The 2 trap stuns, again, format dependent. This can go up, down, sided out, however you want to play it. But it's also nice just to have some form of trap counters, simply because if they you flip all your monsters and then they TT you, sad face. So trap stun's just always good. You just flip it over in your draw phase or whatever, and if they've got loads of back row, and then you can just proceed to really go in. And then the final 2 traps is 2 XYZ block. I really like this card. Being able to search it from from Generation Force is really good, and just in general, it's pretty solid. Being able to detach your material to negating effects and getting destroying its counter traps really solid. And you're only detaching your Utopia materials, so you're not really losing any form of advantage because you weren't probably going to use the Utopia materials anyway. So going on to the extra deck, we have the 199 Utopic Dragon. Really think this should have been Utopia Dragon, but nevertheless. So Dragon is just in general a really good card. Being able to get rid of maybe dead rank ups in your hand, excuse me, even though technically they wouldn't be dead because you would have a Utopia on the board, but nevertheless, I digress. Utopia Dragon just nice for a big punch in the face, and just in general, it's cool card. So I really wish it was called Utopia Dragon, so then I could actually attach the materials, the equips to it. That'd be really nice. 1 Utopia Ray Victory, simply here because it is a rank up target. So really nice because it's the honest version. You just attach your material and really do a lot of damage to them. C101, simply because I run 101 in here and I have the rank up, so makes sense. Leo Arms, great cards. I can go into it with an Instant Fusion and a Star Drawing. I can overlay straight into this. It's not the biggest kind of focus of the deck. It's just here because it's nice. But either way, it's a nice option to have nevertheless, because I can then search out any of my equips, deck thin again, and also if I do have Utopia on board, I can be like, meh. So equip it to it, gain 3k, attack again, it's always nice. Utopia Ray V, this is here for our Volcasaurus pops, which is really nice. and just in general, it's a pretty good card to go into. Then we have the MVP of the deck that cannot be run without the 3 Utopia. Now, at first I was like, 3 Utopia might be a bit much, but at the end of the day, it's a Utopia deck. You have to run 3 because you will probably go through them, if I'm completely honest. If you're really worried about extra deck space, you can cut it down to 2 and just use 1, and depending on how that goes, you can go from there really. But Utopia at 3 is a must in my eyes. Then we have one of the new ones, Utopia Prime. Utopia Prime came out in CROS Souls, and I've been waiting for this for a while because it means that I can do more overlay shenanigans. Its effect used to be pretty ridiculous. It's now not too bad. It's if there's a 3,000 life points difference, you can destroy monsters on your opponent's side of the field and then banish them and do 300 for each, but you reduce your life points down to 10. Yes, you heard me, 10 life points. So it's always a good fun when you be able to pull off that effect, because it's pretty jokes, in all fairness. It's pretty funny. And I did a Utopia replays video not too long ago, well, that's actually quite a while ago, where I actually did pull off the effect and was on 10 life points and was able to kill them a few turns later, so that was pretty funny. Then we have the 1 Utopia Ray. This is here simply because it's a Utopia target, and yeah, XYZ Change Tactics likes it. Going on to some of the generic ones now. 1 Exeter Knight, because it's Exeter Knight, and the 1 Silent Honor Arc. Yeah, I don't really need to say much about it. The reason why I've chosen Arc instead of Castell is simply because I do have C101 in here, so the synergy just works. And then finally, the 2 instant fusion targets, Panzer Dragon and Carbonara Warrior. Carbonara Warrior is a warrior simply because, you know, it's good target for if you do run, for example, Blade Armor Ninja or the Excalibur. And Panzer Dragon is just nice. I like the effect. In worst case, I can just pop a card on the field during the M phase. And also, it's a light if you ever need to use it. So that is it, guys. Let me know down in the comment section about what you think of the deck. A couple of mentions, let's say. You can't run Pallades in this deck. That's why you might think I have this, but you can't run Pallades because you don't have any light level 5. Star Drawing is an Earth, unfortunately, even though I thought it would have been a light, because that would have been pretty good. But yeah, just in general, this is basically one of my fun decks. It seems pretty popular, the Utopia stuff, so I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.